Good morning, good morning. Once again, hope your day is starting off marvelous. Hope that the sun is shining down some of the rays of energy or beauty down upon you today. Just blessing you with all the things of the goodness that this world has to offer. Yes, but once again, I'm coming as in KG Furrow's Roundtable. I started doing some teaching. Got to, I started at in the beginning. You can catch that video. And then I got to the second one was justification. You can check that one. And now I was, because I started where it says in the beginning where God created. And then, of course, I moved down into Abraham. I'm not Abraham, into Adam and Eve and the garden. And and the second one, I talked really about the garden and Adam, not Adam, yeah, Adam and Eve, when they was removed out of the garden. So I was gonna share on that, but I was asked a question about this guy of why I don't trust him because I'm gonna move down, then I'm gonna go back. But I just want to share something, and I'm on. This is only me sharing my own experience of teaching um, of this book. Now, here in Genesis 12, we're gonna move down to Abram and Sarah, and it was said that Abram and Sarah, God told them to leave their land, and He would give them a promised land. And even that is skeptical because they should have already had the promised land because where Abraham was, he was already with his family, and his family worshiped the same God. But yet this God only told him to leave the land. Mm. And then he left the land with his sister. And his sister was also his wife. And so here, when we get down here, because once again, this book like to have a certain group of people look like they have the right to go and take something that didn't belong to them. So here, um, even in 12, it says here, and I'm quoting this out of this book. This is the King James. It said, therefore, it shall come to pass when the Egyptians, once again, these people are heading towards Egypt. Not that the Egyptians went and got them, they went to Egypt. Okay? So it says that in the past, when the Egyptians shall see thee, that they shall say, this is his wife, and they will kill me, but they will save thee alive. So here, Abram, um, he's making an assumption that a group of people who live in this other land that he really don't have to go to, but yet he's saying if he go there, he have to tell a lie. He's going to tell a lie, and then here's the lie, but he lied with the truth because he didn't complete it to make the statement totally true. He only told the king something or the Pharaoh something right. Now it says that, say, I pray thee that thou art my sister. So he told his wife to tell the the Pharaoh when they got to Egypt that she was his sister. And true, she was his sister, but yet she was his wife. So he didn't want them to know that Sarah was his wife. So it says, so when he came, it said it came to pass that when Abram was coming to Egypt, see, once again, they went to Egypt. And the Egyptians beheld the woman that she was very fair, meaning that she looked it okay. She wasn't bad looking, is what it's saying. And then it say the prince of also the Pharaoh. So the Pharaoh's son went back and told his father, he's like, man, Dad, check this out. It's a new lady in town. So, because, men like women. And it say, beheld the woman, she was very fair. And then it say, the prince and also the Pharaoh saw her. Oh, the Pharaoh was also with the princess. He was with the princess. And it says, and they commanded her before Pharaoh. And the woman was taken into Pharaoh's house. So they went and escorted Sarah back to the king's castle. Okay? So when she got to the king's castle, it said that um, it said he enters Abram well. So what happened here is when the Pharaoh went to go get Sarah, who Abraham said was his sister, the king paid him well. So what really happened, if you really want to say the truth of what happened, Abraham pimped out his wife. That's exactly what he just did. He pimped her because he sold her to the Pharaoh. Okay? So here it says that he entered. And it says that he had paid him, and it tell you here in chapter 16 all the material things that Abraham received. And then it said, and the Lord plagued Pharaoh. And the Lord plagued Pharaoh. This is why I don't like this God, because this God is wicked. Because here, Abraham is the one who told the lie. Yet this guy wrote down commandments and said, thou should not lie. But yet, this one lied to the Pharaoh. And this God glorified Abram's lie. He glorified Abram's lie. Even though the Pharaoh did nothing wrong, he still granted Abram goodness by putting a plague upon the innocent. Because Pharaoh was innocent. So here he put a plague. And then it says that he plagued his whole house. He didn't just plague the Pharaoh. He plagued many people that had to suffer behind Abram's lie. Once again, this guy honored a lie, but yet tell his people in commandments, thou should not lie. But yet if they do lie, he honors it. That's very confusing. Very confusing. And then it says, and the Lord plagued. And then here 18, and Pharaoh called Abram. Now the king called Abram into, and he said, what is this that thou hast done to me? So Abram has caused this harm to this innocent Pharaoh or person, king, his house, his children, his friends. He caused this harm. And then it says that here, it says, has done to me. Why did thou not tell me that she was thy wife? Now here Pharaoh just came straight out and said, Abram, why did you lie to me and tell me that she was your sister and then tell me that she was your wife? He was, because Pharaoh was never going to cause harm to Abram and Sarah in the first place. He was not going to kill them. They keep trying to make the Egyptians look like they murderers. But yet, this other group of people that follow this guy, they truly are the ones that's murderers. Because they the ones keep going in other people's land, taking their stuff, claiming that their God said it's okay for them to do this because they serve this God. And your God is fake. So here it says, and Pharaoh calls. And then in 9, it says, why saidest thou she is my sister? So I wouldn't have taken her to me to wife. So once again, we see that this Pharaoh laid down with Abram's wife, okay? But Abram didn't care. He sold her. He pimped her. He said, take her and go thy way. And Pharaoh commanded his men concerning him, and they sent him away and his wife and all that he had. Once again, Abram is kicked and Sarah are kicked out of land that they keep saying that their God brings them to. They keep saying it's the honor of this God. Now, I'm not judging anybody's judgment on what you believe. I'm only quoting these quotes out of this book. And it's telling me right here. And before I close, I'm going to head back a little bit because I have to get back to where Adam and Eve was kicked out the garden. So I'm going to head back a little bit. Let's go back a little bit to where it says that Abram was 100 years old and Sarah was 90. Hmm. Once again, this book contradicts itself because in the days of Abraham, even Abraham's father, Abraham was not even born until his father was 130 something on up. So Abram already knew that you can live and have kids past 100. Once again, Abraham already knew that you can have kids past the age of 100 because his own parents was past 100. And even in them days, they was claiming that people was living 600, 800, 1,000 years. So these people were still having children. Matter of fact, one of Abram's, I believe she was his aunt. I had to get her name. But she outlived Abraham, but yet she was older. And she kept having kids. So once again, this book contradicts itself. This God contradicts itself. Because Abram and Sarah already knew, according to this book, that you can still have children up to a certain age. But here it flipped and it's saying, oh, at 100 they can't. But if you go back a few verses, it's going to tell you that people had children when they was 800 years old. Once again, this book contradicts itself. Right there in the beginning. Right in the beginning. This book has to always be justified to make it look right. But there's no way that you can make Abram's actions look right because he totally just told the Pharaoh a lie. They totally just told me a lie about Sarah and Abraham being 90 and 100 when people already were living past them years having children. Yes. And I'm just going to close with that. Once again, this is KG Furrow's Roundtable. And once again, it's a pleasure to be in the presence of such lovely people. And once again, please do not take my teaching personally. It's only just me sharing the knowledge of what I see coming out of this book. We can see different things, and that's okay. If you see something different than me, that's fine too. Because believe me, my God is not getting ready to tell me to try to curse you. He is not going to tell me you blasphemy, that you're going to hell and you're going to be struck down with lightning. He is not going to tell me. He's going to say, Richard, I love them too. And they got the right to say that too. And I'm going to stand and be the guy who I'm supposed to be because I don't change. Because I'm love. And love don't change. Love doesn't hurt. Yes, but as I look out my door and I'm looking at the sunshine, man, no one creates a picture as beautiful as he does. But and I, hopefully you, when we walk out that door today, we are going to be victorious. Stay blessed.